Greetings one and all, my name is Lancer and welcome back once again to Fate Zero. We are continuing this fun rewatch reaction series, as we are now on episode 2. Now last time on Fate Zero, we got the amazing introduction to pretty much our entire cast. Of course, there's still other characters we've yet to meet, but pretty much everybody. We are first introduced to Kiritsugu Emiya and his wife Iris Vale von Einsburn, as well as Kiriko Tomine, who is on the side of Tokiyomi Tosaka in the church, as they are entering into the 4th Holy Grail War. I feel like just doing this recap is going to take forever because all these different plot points, with Karia, who is part of House Mato, who is entering the war so he could save Sakura from the fate of Zoken. And then, of course, there's Kenneth Elmalloy Archibald and Waver Velvet. Waver entering just because he sees it as an opportunity to prove himself. So we've pretty much met all 6 masters, but there are 7. There's one more we've yet to meet, and well, going into this episode, I can't wait to meet him. Again, I really enjoyed last time jumping into the world of Fate Zero once again, so let's do that. Without further ado, let's get right into this episode. These episodes are now 20 minutes in length, as much as I would love them to all be 40-minute Game of Thrones length episodes. Yes. Yes.
I cannot carry these things while I am in my spirit form.
Jameson Pierce, the
Don't whine so much.
goat.
If you stride away, bursting with song, proudly, then what you are is a
Conquering king. Oh, man.
Why is this happening to me?
You summoned him. Ah, yes. The first opening. I like the second opening more, but this one's still pretty good. So many spoilers in that first opening.
What's so important about these books anyway?
It's important because we are preparing for war. But I'm interested in learning where all my old territories are located.
I think they're here.
Ha! I spent my life conquering that land, and look how puny it is. Very well.
It's an interesting idea. It's like take someone so ancient like... I won't spoil his name just yet, but I mean, I don't want to talk about like the true identities of these guys yet. It's more fun when it's introduced through the story. I mean, obviously we already know King Arthur, and of course, outside of Fate, you should probably know Saber. That's one of the most fun parts about getting into Fate is just, it educates you. Even though obviously Fate has its own lore and backstory with certain characters, takes certain liberties. It gave me a good delve into history and kind of make me wish I would got more into the series when I was in school, actually learning history. Probably would have helped in the long run, but just like that territory is so small. I spent my life conquering it.
First, to the other side of the world. Due west, and we go as fast as we can. And we shall conquer every land that we pass through. What will you do with the Grail once you possess it?
I want to make all those idiots back at the clock tower who never even bothered to give me a chance to admit to me that they were wrong.
Small!
Your only concern is for your ridiculous reputation, and you dare call yourself my master? What a terrible disappointment you are.
I kind of want to see the alternate reality where Waver never entered the Grail War and Kenneth entered with Ryder. Or even maybe the alternate reality where Kenneth ended up with Ryder and Waver ends up with the other servant he has.
Perhaps you should try using the Holy Grail's power to grow another 30 centimeters and add a little bit of muscle.
I addressed the command seal. In accordance with the Grail's laws, I order this man, Iskander the Conqueror.
Skander the Conqueror.
A master can only use his command seal to compel his servant's obedience 3 times.
Yes.
And that's all.
I think that's one of my favorite aspects of the Grail War is the command seals. One, just because like cool symbols, like all the symbols that all the masters have in Fate Zero, I have them all as stickers that are on the back of my old laptop. And I consider just like at some point, do I want to get like Kiritsugu's command seal, this symbol? I want to get it tattooed. Maybe not like on my hand, but yeah, just the idea, just like you can only force them to follow you 3 times.
You seem awfully confident about that. Do you have any idea how you're going to do it?
So you wish to see my power? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I am Iskander, king of conquerors. With this swing of my sword, I declare my supremacy.
A bit of a delay. The first noble phantasm. technically.
This is the ox chariot that King Gordius once offered up to Zeus. Its renowned reputation must be the source of my designation as a rider-class servant.
Iskandar. So yeah, Iskandar, aka Alexander the Great. Different pronunciation.
I'm not gonna lose today. You just watch.
Yes, Kiritsugu and his little demon spawn.
That's the very first chestnut bud today.
This is okay. I love Matt Mercer's voice in this scene because it almost doesn't sound like him. It doesn't sound like Kiritsugu at the very least because he just sounds so fatherly.
Your daddy can't win this game against you otherwise.
I'm gonna cry again.
I was under the impression that my master had a colder heart than he's showing now.
Well, I can see why you might think that.
True, I did pretend to be a man during my original life, but surely there was no need for you two to be so shocked when you saw me.
I'm trying to remember just like my first reactions to some of this stuff. King Arthur, a female. I mean, obviously that's like the biggest meme in Fate, just gender bending these historical figures. I mean, not that King Arthur was never real, it's a mythology character, but I mean, that leads into certain Fate lore stuff, but I mean, I guess we'll talk about that later at some point. Just the idea of people who were actual historical figures being summoned as servants and people who are mythological beings, how that actually affects their power.
Do you think he might underestimate my ability? Simply because I am a woman?
Woman moment.
I'm afraid that Kiritsugu Emiya and the hero Arturia will never get along with each other. He must have resigned himself to that fact.
More than you know.
It is my fervent wish to save Britain, since I could not protect it in life.
Yes, back when Britain was the world. Fucking music, man. Stop. Heartstrings.
Our next match won't happen until you come back from your trip to Japan, will it?
That's right.
Mommy told me about that already. She said we'd be apart for a long time. She also told me that even if we don't see each other for a long, long time, she'll always be right here by my side.
Oh, there's so many layers to it. Oh, man. The heavens feel, man.
Can you wait for me, Ilya? Even if you're lonely, can you last till I come home?
Oh, I'm gonna have to wait so long to talk about this.
All right now.
This
Fill
guy.
and fill. Okay, that's 5 times. Right.
Obviously, when I first watched this, I wasn't too familiar with Johnny Young Bosch, but obviously since watching this, I've watched stuff like Code Geass, Trigun. I think he does this character really well. Yeah, this is...
Do you believe in terrible demons, kiddo? Yo, I'm Ryunosuke Uryu, and I'm a demon. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it.
His design is so deceptive as well. It's because he doesn't look like a killer. He kind of looks like just like a background, like, shonen protagonist.
If a demon does show up around here, would you mind letting it kill ya? What's that?
Man. I remember seeing reactions to this show, certain people watching it, just like certain reactions like, really? This motherfucker gets chosen by the Grail?
I ask you, you who calls to me, O summoner who manifests me within the vessel of a caster, I ask you
Caster.
your name.
Here, wanna eat this kid?
These two are a match made in hell.
Cthulhu Fulunga.
Cthulhu Valunga.
Don't be frightened, little boy. You'll be fine.
As fucked up as it is, it's kind of a cool scene. Just like as soon as he opens the book, it's just like Cthulhu Valunga, which obviously when you're first watching, you're like, what? But in hindsight, oh no, kid had no chance.
Cool! You are awesome!
Okay.
I want you to take me out and show me even cooler ways to torture and kill!
This kid.
In this era, the most common name for me would be, perhaps for now, I'll just call myself Bluebeard.
I've done research. What does that mean? Like, why do you call himself Bluebeard? But roughly, it means like someone who marries somebody, marries a woman, and then kills them, and then just keeps doing that over and over again. Just like a series of killing younger women or just married women. It's something like that. Again, it's been a long time since I've done research into like Fate characters and historical figures. I know that in his life, he was hung for his string of murders. Ironically, the perfect pairing for someone like Ryunosuke.
The final servant has been summoned. Then it's time.
Indeed.
The war
You are
begins.
to leave here now
I was under the impression that you were allies with Tokiyomi Tosaka.
Don't you worry about that. There's no need to fear.
No need to fear Archer, one of the 3 great knight classes of the Grail Wars.
Eliminate Tokiyomi Tosaka at once.
A lot to talk about right there. It's a shame. Never got to spend much time with this Hassan. Here we go. Shink.
You are nothing but a slimy worm. Who gave you permission to look up at me?
Oh, man.
No need to fear that.
A filthy worm like you should face the ground, crawl on your stomach, and die.
Man, these episodes are short. Holy shit, man. I almost want to do 2. Should I? Because the first episode's 40 minutes long. Fuck it. We'll do... Because what's the math on that? 24? Actually, that'll work out. We'll do 2 episodes in one. But either way, that scene there, the first 2 servants clashing with each other. I mean, it's not a clash. It's not even a fight. But against Archer, it's not. But I love that Kirei completely just left his servant in the dark there. But again, that's part of their plan. They want to make it look like Kirei and Tokiyomi are not working together. And now it makes it look like Kirei's out of the Grail War.
I am very grateful, Your Highness. King of all kings, Gilgamesh.
Damn right he is.
I take that to mean the modern world is to your liking.
It's unspeakably ugly.
Based Gilgamesh.
So I can assure you, no matter how precious this grail of yours may be, I will never let a lowly mongrel even touch it without my consent.
Dude, Gilgamesh is actually, like, the best character. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite overall. I mean, Kiritsugu. In terms of servants, we'll discuss more as we go forward.
I'm amazed Gilgamesh materialized within the archer class, considering their reputation for solo combat skills.
It is cheating. This version of him as archer self technically is every class in one. He's an archer because he shoots things. It's like the most loose term for archer.
Oh, I see. So I think the biggest obstacle for us will be this Clinton guy. He will prove a more formidable opponent than Darius III.
This takes place in 1994, by the way, just, you know, so you get a rough idea of the time period we're in.
It all happened so fast, I couldn't tell what happened.
You fool! Why weren't you paying attention to how he
His waist is so small.
Normally a servant only has 1 noble phantasm, right?
Yes, of course, that's the rule.
Is it though?
A sword that makes copies of itself. Really? Huh. Yes, it's possible.
A sword that makes copies of itself. Yeah, what? How could that happen? Trace on.
We'll just have to discover each of our enemies' identities as we encounter them. Actually, it'll be more fun. Food, sex, sleep, and war. Whatever you do, you should always enjoy it to the fullest. That is the secret of life.
He's not wrong.
We ride forth to where?
Well, to somewhere. We can go anywhere.
Oh, come
Doesn't matter so long as we're going somewhere.
I have forfeited my rights as a master, and cannot continue the Holy Grail War. In accordance with the treaty, I, Kirei Kotomine, ask that the church grant me sanctuary.
I, Risei Kotomine, guarantee your safety here. Enter in peace.
There's just such a rich world to Fate. The simple, like, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, like, timeline, not, you know, all the other shit in it. You know, there's so many, like, rules and regulations to the Grail War itself. I find it fascinating. That's why I love this series.
The Holy Church will censure any master who dares defy the decree.
Yeah, because that matters.
Post a guard here at all times, just to be sure.
Yes. Understood.
We shall sneak up behind them. And this time, we shall become true shadows in the darkness.
Hassan the Sabbath should have been, in theory, he's a very powerful servant, because each one of those is a servant. These aren't technically Hassan. In mythology, he is a wandering monk assassin kind of thing, who, like, is known because of, like, the white mask. These aren't Hassan. These are the servants of the Hassan. That's why earlier in episode 1, Assassin says, "We of the Hassan." So these are, like, more of the idea of Hassan, like, you know, the followers of him.
Well, Saber, how did you enjoy your journey through the sky?
It was really nothing to speak of. My riding skill allows me to command any beast or vehicle. with the only exception being phantasmal or divine beasts.
Yeah, and we'll never encounter any of those. You being able to pilot, I think that's just a you thing.
No, I didn't.
I want to read these passports. Surname Maria Thompson. Isn't that a reference or something?
It's given me many enjoyable hours of choosing outfits for you.
I've seen some of those images as well. It's like Irisvale picking out outfits for her.
It's my very first time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I've ever ventured out into the world outside the confines of my home.
Yep, that's the life of an Einsburn. Ah, yes, my underrated character in this show, man.
Why would Tosaka expose his servant like he did?
He must have had a very good reason.
I mean, granted, even if you know it's Gilgamesh, it doesn't matter. But I do like this early stage of the back and forth between the masters and servants, because it's the whole thing of like trying to hide their identity while still fighting.
Assassin's master is Kirei Kotomine.
Send a familiar to watch the Fuyuki church. That the priest won't be able to spot it.
Very well.
Just keep that note in mind. Yes. Thompson Center contender, baby. I want that gun.
Ilya weighs a lot less than that Walther. She's 8 years old already.
Focus on the matter at hand. Just empty your mind.
Some people may look at that and be like, oh, he's cheating on her. But it's like, is their relationship a real relationship? Really? We'll get more into the details later. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but like, we will. I don't want to spoil stuff. But just know Maya is kind of based because, you know, she's trying to make him focus.
You're a girl just as I am. But when you were King Arthur, you never had the luxury of enjoying simple things like this, did you?
Surely you would have much preferred to have Kiritsugu to escort you around town today, right?
Of course I would. But he couldn't. It would only cause him pain and suffering. When he's happy, for some reason, it seems to cause him pain.
It's that closeness.
An enemy servant?
Yes. Making its presence known from the shadows.
Let's go.
100 meters.
The first battle.
I'd
Well,
like
yeah,
nothing better.
actual battle.
Waiting is a large part of war.
I wanna go. I wanna go back to England.
Things have finally begun to unfold out there. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Trailer shot. Oh, the boy.
Spent the entire day searching the city for a worthy foe.
The goat.
You alone have accepted my offer.
There he is. Everyone. Lancer, my channel's namesake. Literally, like, my channel icon was this character for a long time, and he's still my namesake. I mean, the Lancer class as a whole more or less is.
You are the servant called Saber, I presume?
Indeed I am. And I presume that you are the one that's called Lancer.
Being unable to honor
I love these two. The dual spear, I love that style.
Perhaps they plot something.
The invisible
Watch
sword.
yourself.
Grant me victory in this fight.
To
will.
victory or death.
Without fail.
Fuyuki City. Oh man, I'm glad I did 2 episodes instead of 1. The battles begin. Well, that was episodes 2 and 3 of Fate Zero. Just doing episode 2 on its own wouldn't have been enough. So yeah, we're gonna start doing these in 2 episode chunks at a time. That was truly kicking off. We now go into the first battle. Saber versus Lancer. I wonder if I'll ever encounter a channel named Saber and we have to duel at some point. I mean, it's just cool in like these early episodes, we really get to see just like the intellectual battles as opposed to a lot of the physical ones. Which of course, you know, we'll see more of that as we go forward. But that's just like the amazing back and forth. It's like, it's not always about like the hand-to-hand or the weapon combat. It's more just the intellectual battles. Choosing when to fight and how to fight is just awesome. That's why I love this series so much. But either way, I'm really getting to get into episodes 4 and 5 as well as just the remainder of this series, man. And I really hope you all are gonna enjoy this as well. Just as Ryder said, this is going to be a lot of fun. So until next time, I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.